Welcome to Wrestling with Snipes. Today we'll be taking a look back at Friday Night SmackDown for January 10th, 2025. SmackDown kicks off with the wise man, Paul Heyman. He announces, finally, there is no dispute, now there is only one tribal chief. And that tribal chief is Roman Reigns. He wants to share Roman Reigns' plans for 2025, and then Paul Heyman calls out the champ, Cody Rhodes. Then Cody Rhodes comes down looking excited, gets in the ring and they shake hands, and Paul says, you have done something that very few people have ever done, and that's earned the respect of the head of the table. But Cody Roman wants his title back, and you know how he's gonna get it done? He's going to enter the Royal Rumble, and he plans on taking the title back at Wrestlemania. So Cody, what do you want to talk about? Oh my. Then before Cody could speak, we hear Kevin Owens from the crowd, and he says, you know what I want to talk about? Kevin says, you should have let the bloodline destroy Roman Reigns, but you had to get your nose stuck in their business. Then Cody hops over the ring, jumps over the barricade, and they start brawling in the crowd. The next thing you know, Fatu Tonga and Fatu show up and they corner Paul Heyman. And then out of nowhere, here comes Big Jim, Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso hits about 4 super kicks on each of the two, and Fatu is unfazed. Fatu then takes out Jimmy Uso. But then we see coming back from the crowd is Cody Rhodes. Rhodes jumps in the ring, throws Tama Tonga out of the ring, and he goes face to face with Fatu. Fatu and Rhodes battle back and forth until Rhodes clotheslines Fatu outside of the ring. And we see Jimmy Uso and the champ Cody Rhodes stand tall as we go to commercial break. And the first contest of the evening is for the Women's United States Championship as the champion Chelsea Green defends against Michin. The match begins with Chelsea tossing Michin into the second rope throat first. Then she throws Michin to the outside of the ring and tosses her into the barricade. Then we go to commercials. We come back and we see Michin hit a back suplex. Then Michin hits a cannonball on the champ. Then Michin boots Chelsea in the face. Michin goes to the top, but she gets distracted and then kicks Piper in the head. Then she gives Piper Niven a cannonball on the outside. Then she goes back to the top, leaps off and hits a crossbody on Chelsea, but Chelsea rolls through and she grabs the tights. 1, 2, 3. Chelsea Green retains the Women's United States Championship. And the next contest is a tag team match with Los Garzas against Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy. A brawl breaks out to start the match, and Pretty Deadly heads to the outside of the ring to catch a breath, but then Humberto hits a suicide dive. Then we go back to the break and we see a double super kick on Elton. Then Humberto gets hit with a neck breaker on the second rope as we go to commercials. We come back from break, then we see Garza hitting a super kick for a 2 count. One of the Pretty Deadly members goes to the top, but Santos Escobar gets involved, knocking them off the top of the rope. Then the ref turns around and Los Garzas hits a press into a tilt-a-world slam. 1, 2, 3. Los Garzas pick up the dub. Next up is a match for the United States Championship as the champion Shinsuke Nakamura defends against the former champ L.A. Knight. Yeah. The match starts off with a lockup and Knight grabs a headlock, then he backdrops Nakamura over the top rope. Then Knight hits a baseball slide between the second and third rope, taking down Shinsuke. Then he rams Nakamura's head into the announce table and tosses him back into the ring. Then we come back from break and we see LA Knight hitting a power slam followed by a big elbow drop for a 1, 2. Shinsuke kicks out. Then they head to the top rope and Knight hits a superplex for a 2 count. LA Knight out of nowhere then hits a BFT and both men are down. Knight then drapes his arm across Nakamura, but before the ref can count 3, the new bloodline interfere, causing a disqualification. They beat down Knight until Cody and Big Jim come out to make the save and a brawl begins on the outside of the ring before security gets involved. Cody grabs a mic and challenges the new bloodline to a tag team match, and Aldis approves. We've got a tag team main event tonight. The next match was a tag team contest with the Motor City Machine Guns against A-Town Down Under. Shelley and Waller start the match with the lockup, then Waller grabs a headlock and hits an uppercut. Then all hell breaks loose and both guns clothesline Waller outside over the top rope. Sabin then hits a suicide dive, taking out both members of A-Town Down Under. We come back from commercial break and we see Sabin hitting a low dropkick to the face of Theory. Then the machine guns hit the skull and bones. 1, 2, 3. Motor City Machine Guns take home the victory. Then we go to the back and we see Candice LeRae telling Nia Jax she just saw Tiffy heading to the ring. Then Nia says, I wonder what she's gonna say. Actually, I'm gonna go out and congratulate her myself. Nia then heads off as Candice LeRae looks excited. Now it's time for the celebration cause it's Tiffy time. The WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton comes out fresh off her cash-in last week. Saxton asks Tiffy how it feels to be the new WWE Women's Champion. Tiffy says it's Tiffy time. What a Tiffy turn of events, am I right? She says I'm only 25 years old and I'm already better than all of your favorites. She said she befriended Nia Jax and got Nia to trust her. Nia thought I was stupid, but who's stupid now as Tiffy raises the WWE Women's title? Then out comes Nia Jax. Nia calls Tiffy an ungrateful little Right now, Tiffy, I could kill you. Oh my. She says, Tiffy, I made you. Now you're having your moment. It's Tiffy time. But time's up. Either you give me the title back or I'm going to take it from you. And then out of nowhere, here comes Bayley. Bayley calls Nia stupid and she says, Tiffy, I didn't forget. You're the only reason Nia beat me at SummerSlam for the Women's Championship. Bayley then challenges Tiffy for the women's title and out comes Naomi with Bianca Belair. Naomi says last week if Tiffy didn't get involved, I would have beaten you for the title. So if anyone is fighting for the women's championship, you gotta see me first. Then a brawl breaks out with all four women as Tiffy dips to the outside. They continue brawling into the ring and Tiffy sneaks in the corner and hits the prettiest moonsault ever, taking out all four women and escapes as she holds up the women's title, walking up the aisleway. And then Nick Aldis comes out and says, tonight we're gonna have a #1 contenders fatal 4-way match, and the match starts right now. So the fatal 4-way with Nia Jax versus Bayley versus Naomi versus Bianca Belair, and the winner gets a title shot next week against Tiffany Stratton. The match begins with the three opponents attacking Nia Jax. Jax then suplexes the women's tag team champs by herself. Naomi then goes for her Karana on Jax, but Nia catches her and hits her with a powerbomb. 1, 2, Belair interrupts, breaking up the count. Belair then hits a dropkick on Jax. Jax then goes to the top, looks like she's gonna hit a Samoan drop, but Bianca and Naomi get underneath Jax and pull her down in a powerbomb style, with Bayley getting hit with the Samoan drop from the top. Then we go to commercials, we come back from break and we see Belair putting Bayley on her shoulders for a KOD, but LeRae shows up and grabs Belair's ponytail. They have a tug of war and Belair pulls the ponytail, which whips Naomi. Then Jax pulls Belair to the outside of the ring and Belair tackles Nia Jax over the announce table, taking both women out. Then we go back to the ring and we see Bayley hit Naomi with a rose plant. 1, 2, 3, Bayley picks up the dub and will challenge Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship next week. We come back from break and we see Saxton catching up with Bayley in the back. Bayley says, I've been fighting Tiffany Stratton all year and I haven't lost to her once, and next week I will become the WWE Women's Champion once again. And it was time for the main event of the evening with Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga against Big Jim, Jimmy Uso, and the undisputed champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. The match starts off with Cody and Tama Tonga going back and forth. Cody lifts Tonga up for a suplex and drops him on his face. Then we come back from a break and we see Fatu hitting a running hip thrust on Big Jim in the corner. They battle back and forth and Jimmy hits a whisper in the wind and then tags are made on both sides. Cody hits a disaster kick on Tonga. Cody then hits a Cody cutter on Fatu, who rolls to the outside of the ring, and Big Jim follows it up with a suicide dive. Then Owens walks out and Cody goes after him and they battle up the ramp. Back in the ring, Jimmy hits an Uso splash on Tonga. 1, 2. Fatu pulls Jim off of Tonga, breaking up the count. Tonga then tags in Fatu. Fatu hits an Impaler DDT followed by a big moonsault. 1, 2, 3. Jacob, Fatu, and Tonga pick up the victory. Then we see Owens and Rhodes battling through the crowd. Then they make their way onto a pedestal and Rhodes tackles Owens off the pedestal, crashing through tables, and the show closes with Cody Rhodes standing tall.